Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Heather and I am Wheelhouse Knits. I am coming to you from the east coast of Canada where I live and knit just outside of St. John, New Brunswick. And it has been 2 weeks since I've been here last. Today is Saturday, March 8th, and I have some things to share with you. It's quite a bit sooner than my last podcast. I had a little bit of time off last week and Sawyer was at school. So I had some knitting that I got done. Some lingering whips have been finished and it feels really good. So I thought I would pop back in. He's upstairs having some quiet time and just share what I have been up to. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Wheelhouse Knits. I'm most active on Instagram, and I will say sometimes there is a spicy word or two in this podcast, so disclaimer. I can't help it. That's who I am. It's real life. I say some spicy things. I read some spicy books. It is what it is, but I know that is not everybody's cup of tea, so here's your warning. There might be an F-bomb here or there throughout this podcast. I hope you guys have been well since I've been here last. I'm going to apologize in advance today. I tried a new face cream and I had an allergic reaction to it. So if you notice some weird red splotch on my forehead, I'm just going with it because it's been there all day and I've taken 40 milligrams of Claritin and it's better but not gone. So it is what it is, and again, that is real life. We're just gonna roll with it. Okay, I have some things to show you. I have 4 whips, 3 FOs, and 4 books to share with you. So, might as well dig in. Okay, the first whip that I'm going to show you is, it's a tease, to be honest. This is a test knit for Nancy Wheeler, Knit Sip Happy. It is her yearly boobed themed sock. And I test knit for Nancy. This is this year's sock. It is a surprise. It is lovely, but I wanted to show you the yarn I am using. It is in my top sale canvas bag from Sadie, who is a lovely maker and fellow knitter. These are my favorite bags from Sadie. They hold socks perfectly. So, I don't want to show anything, but I will show you the yarn that I'm using. Okay. This is the yarn. Make sure you can't see anything. Yeah. This is nothing patterned. Sneak peek. So this is Cozy Posy Wildest Dreams, which is a Taylor Swift colorway. And then the heel is a Gobsmacked mini from a mini skein bundle that I got at Fiddlehead Fiber Festival last time. My hair there. So this is the Cozy Posy Wildest Dreams. It's beautiful. And my that's a disaster. And then this is the Gobsmacked. So I thought these went really, really well together. Let's see if it can focus. These are going to be this year's boob themed socks, and they're great. So I've started my second one. I'm done the first one. I've started the second one. This is all I have so far. Just the very beginnings of a cuff. And I need to get cracking on that. I need to finish the second one. The sun is coming out. There's a window right above my shoulder, so I don't know if that is interfering, but again, this is real life, and this is the pocket of time that I have to do this. So we're gonna go with it. Yeah, so watch this space for this year's boob theme socks. Oh yeah, see, there's the sun. Is it right in my face? I can't complain about the sun. It is literally right in my face. Oh God, it's so bright. Yeah. It is what it is. It's winter in the Maritimes, and let's see. Yeah, it's been dreary and rainy all week, like flood levels. There are barricades all over our city, so as much as the sun is inconveniencing me right now, I am gonna go with it. Okay, that's my first whip. I am done the first sock. I am on the second sock, just barely starting it. and watch Nancy's Instagram and her podcast soon because I'm sure she will be sharing it. It's really good and it's really catchy. It's very clever, the design. I can't wait. They're hilarious. So that is my first whip, which is like a tease because it's not even really a whip. This is my second one. This is the sock I forgot last time. So it hasn't gotten any love since I podcasted last, but this sock bag is so cute. And I don't know, it's a local maker. And these socks are the Time Square socks by Mina Phillips, the knitting expat. These are from her. I have just picked up the heel stitches from the heel flap. And here's the sock. Let's see if it can focus. It is a patterned sock. So it's a cable design, and there's the back. I love it. I love the pops of color. So I have really literally just picked up the heel flap and I've knit 2 rounds. So I'd like to get through the gusset decreases. This yarn is Hedgehog Fibres. It's their sock, twist sock. And it's in the Daydream colorway. This was on sale at Cricket Cove, one of my local yarn stores recently. So I picked this up. So this is what I'm using for that. I love it. I think the sun might be behind a cloud again. We might be in the clear. Okay. So yeah, this is sock number 2. I had significantly more socks on the needles, but I have finished some. This sock is, I have to pay attention to it. Like I need to look at the pattern, which I need to print out because I was using digitally and I can't. I need it on paper. I'm sorry. The third pair of socks that I have on the needles is the only vanilla sock I have, and this is in my Oh Wow Amsterdam bag, which is different on both sides. I love this bag, and I cast on for one of my favorite knit-alongs. The I Love Books and Sock Knitting KALS, hosted by Denise, Earth Tones Girl. And I have finished one sock and I am well into the second one. So this is a make along. It's this, I believe, the second year. It's the second year I've participated. I'm pretty sure it's the second year it's run. And it is a knit along that encourages you to knit socks and read books, which are 2 of my favorite things. So these are the first pair of socks. This knit along started last weekend, March 1st. Since it has started, I am into my second sock and I am on my 3rd book. So this is Opal. They're one of their beauty, I'm going to show you the tag, one of their beauty colorways. And here is the back because it's in, I think it's German. I hope that focuses. Okay, it is 11305. So I've got the first sock finished and I am on the second one, and I am just in the middle of the gusset decreases. So this is just a vanilla sock on 9-inch circulars. I do 64 stitches. For this one I did 24 rounds of 2x2 ribbing for the leg. I knit 65 rounds for the, 24 rounds for the cuff, 64 rounds for the leg. I did heel flap and gusset, and I am just in my gusset decreases. This little stitch marker is from my friend Leanne. It's a little ducky. This is where I started this morning, and I just worked on this while I was out running errands today. While I was waiting, had to wait at the butcher, had to wait at Costco in the parking lot. So yeah, I worked on this. I finished the heel flap, I did the turn, I picked up the stitches, and I'm almost through the gusset decreases. So I have been listening to audiobooks so far. My library books, 3 of them came in at the same time, and then I listened to one on Audible. So I am on my 3rd audiobook, and I have to say I really started strong. I finished like 2 books in 2 days last weekend, and I'm stalled out on my current book, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, but I'm stubborn, so I'm not gonna finish it, but I'm not as motivated to listen to it. So I just need to get through this one because I have another library book waiting for me. Anyways, this is my first sock for that KAL, which I'm so excited about. 2 of my favorite things. So I'm gonna power through. I'm gonna finish the 2nd sock. I'm gonna finish the 3rd book, and then I'm gonna cast something else on. And there's actually another sock knitting challenge starting tomorrow, March 9th, hosted by Julian Knitter. And it's the 1 week sock challenge 2025 is the hashtag. I'll put it down below, and I'll put the hashtag for Denise's down below as well and tag them. So it starts tomorrow, and it's knit a pair of socks in a week. And I think I'm gonna participate, and I think I have my yarn picked out. So yeah, I am gonna participate, and I'm gonna start a new pair of socks. And maybe that'll motivate me to finish this book that I'm just not enjoying. Because I will only be able to count it in my mind as a pair of socks for the sock and reading challenge if I listen to the audiobook while I work on them. There also is another kind of like very casual KAL that's going on with Sophie, and I can't remember who else. Novel Girl Knits. I'm gonna look this up because I don't want to misspeak. So Sophie is Cozy Meadow Knits, and I'm just looking for the hashtag. I want to say it's like books and socks. Let's see. I'll put it down below, but I just, I don't trust my brain. And I just watched Sophie's latest podcast, and which is where I heard about it. So yes, Novel Knits podcast. Danelle, hashtag book socks club. So it's the same basic concept, book reading and sock knitting. So really I can like triple dip because yeah, I love a challenge, and I am heavily motivated on a deadline, and you know, I love sock knitting and reading books. So I think I have my next skein picked out. Now, saying that, I think I have my next skein picked out, but oh no. This is like really, you know, where I should be. Oh, here it is right in front of my face. I should be editing this part out, but I'm probably not going to. So I think I have my next game picked out because I'm feeling springy. However, this kit from the Cozy Knitter and Sandy by the Lakeside, wouldn't this be perfect for this? This is Vintage Library, and this was a collab that they did. And actually, I think these are going up in both of their shops recently. These Nancy Wheeler picked up for me at Knit City, Toronto last year. I think the sun is making its way back. So this was a kit that she grabbed me just because I do love, yeah, it is making its way back. I do love sock knitting and I love reading. So I feel like at some point this needs to get used. It's like blinding me. For this KAL. I just think I have something else picked out right now that I'm feeling a little bit more. Because I feel like with this lovely spring weather, I need a little bit of... I can't even right now. I need a little bit of something brighter. So I'll show you what it is because it's a new acquisition. I think that's it for the socks and the books and all of the KALs. My last whip you have seen before. It is in this lovely, lovely bag by Lewis and Jane, which is from the PEI Yarn Festival, I think. Is that what it's called? Oh my god, I'm losing it. This is my Tulip sweater by Melody Hoffmann. It is knit in Yarn Indulgences Sport from Deborah, which I have had in my stash for a while, wanting to make a stripy sweater. And I have not really been sweater knitting because of my concussion. I have on and off, but it takes a lot of mental power out of me. If you've been here before, you have heard about me talk about that before. I have post-concussion syndrome from a pretty significant concussion, and there are a lot of things that have changed with my brain since that. And, you know, I go to vestibular rehab and I do all of the things and physio and I'm medicated and I get Botox for migraines, and it's a lot. It's messy. However, my brain is still struggling. And like thinking of sweater math and gauge math and like, okay, if I need this, then I have to do this, and like all of that, and conceptualizing the, you know, different parts of a yoke, or if I want to modify it to fit my shape, that is really tricky for my brain right now. So it requires a lot of talking it through, writing it down, and then bugging all of my knitting friends to be like, hey, is this what I'm doing? Please help. Please help. Hi friends, help. And they're all lovely and they all help me so much, and I couldn't knit sweaters without them. Or sometimes even just like the stupidest question. Like the other day before I had coffee, I asked a really silly question, and then after I was like, ha ha, ignore me. But yeah, so my brain is just a little different now. Sweater knitting has been a real challenge. This is an incredibly basic sweater. I wanted a sport weight pattern of just a sweater that I would knit again in the future. So I picked the Tulip sweater, and I am not knitting it as a Tulip sweater. This is a sport weight stripy sweater, raglan. And I'm really just using the numbers and knitting it as a basic sweater. So this isn't really a Tulip sweater, but it's using the numbers from the Tulip sweater. I did do a gauge swatch. Yay. Yay, because I don't normally do that, but I did, and I am using what am I using? 4mm needles for the body, and so that's a US 6, and I'm using a US 5 for the ribbing. And this is Deborah from Yarn Indulgences, her sport yarn, and this is my sweater. So last time I was on the body, and I was, I think, right here. So I finished the body and I did a split hem because I'm a little bit hippie and I have a long torso. So I did a split hem because I just felt like it would lay better on my body. Again, this is not in the pattern. I didn't do the scalloped bottom. I just did a split hem myself. So this is the sweater. I got 2 whole repeats of the colors, and then I ended on the white here. which is what I started the neck on. It's long and I like a long sweater. And now I am on the sleeve. I'm not like super thrilled about the pickup here. It's a little janky, but then aren't we our own worst critics? I haven't tried the sleeve on since I've been knitting it. I was watching a Gabby, that Gabby Patino, or am I saying that correctly? Documentary on Netflix last night, and I watched the Ruby Frankie documentary, and I just was knitting, and I did not get up and try this on, even though I should have, because I am well into the sleeve. I have not woven the ends in with the body. I did weave the ends in because it was convenient, like before I started the next color. I didn't do that with this one. I will flip it as I go, but I really need to try this on. So I'm totally done the green stripe. I'm doing 12 rounds of each color and then moving to the next color. So I'm ready to move to this blue here. And I think no matter what, because I've done the neck and the body ribbing with the white, no matter what color I finish on for the sleeve, I'm just going to do the ribbing in white because I think just for consistency. So I'm on the first sleeve. I'm super thrilled. I haven't finished I finished my Tulip, which again is just like such a basic sweater. No, my Tulsta, which is such a basic sweater. That's the first sweater I've knit in over 2 years. And I used to knit a ton of sweaters. Again, such a very basic sweater. So this one I'm excited about because I miss it. And, you know, I am medicated now. I'm in lots of therapy for my brain, but it's still really tricky. So I'm thankful that I have friends that I can bounce things off of. So this, hopefully, when I come back, will be a finished sweater because like this sleeve knit up so quickly. And even if I have to re-knit this is sport weight yarn, and like this took like an evening on the couch. So that's what I was thinking. Even if it doesn't fit and I have to re-knit it, whatever. I have lots of yarn left of all of the colors. I'm using 8 colors, and I'll put the colors down below, and it's in my project page on Ravelry. It blocks out so nicely. You might be able to tell I blocked the yoke up here. Like this lay, you can tell this lays pretty flat, but then down here is like a bit more bumpy, just because it hasn't been blocked and it's been shoved in a bag. So this blocks out like a dream. Like I cannot wait to wear this, and I hope, like I want to get it finished so that I can wear it while it's still like cooler. The only thing that is irritating me, and I hope that this doesn't do this, is the split hem is like flipping. I'm doing a terrible job at showing this, but like when like I do this and then it just goes ding. I haven't blocked it yet, so I think when I block it, it'll be fine. When I tried it on, it was fine and it didn't do that. So I'm hoping it'll be okay. And if not, just figure out a plan B. So yeah, this is a very, 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 very loose adaptation of the Tulip sweater by Melody Hoffmann. Really, it's just a beautiful stripy sweater. So that is it for whips. That's all I have for now, because tomorrow I'm going to have a new sock, which means I am going to get up early and cast it on. Okay, I have 3 finished objects. Sorry if you can hear Sawyer thumping around up there. All right, my first... I can hear him yelling for me. Okay. Regroup. All right, I have 3 finished objects. So, my first finished object, These have been on the needles since July of 2020. The first sock I finished, oh my gosh, he's running around. You're gonna hear it. I'm sorry. Again, this is real life. These have been on the needle since July of 2023. These are a twist on stripy socks by Dana Ray Makes. So they have a lace panel that runs down the side of the sock, and the lace panel moves depending on which sock you're knitting. So there's a right sock and a left sock. This is a Glinda colorway that is deep, 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 deep stash. Like 7 to 10 years old, I would suspect, from Desert Vista Dyeworks. It is a self-striping yarn, and I hope you can see, but it is Stellina. I'm not sure if you can see that if I move it, but it's Stellina based. So this sock was finished, no problem. This sock is finished. However, this pattern, I love this pattern, but it wasn't as intuitive for me, or I don't know if it was just my brain, but I have 2 mistakes in my lace here. And you probably can't even tell, like now that I've blocked this, I really can't tell, but I know they're there. There's 2, they're minor. You can't really tell. I have 1 up here somewhere and 1 down here somewhere. They're minor. You'll never know. I know, and it's irritating me. And it's not because I'm a perfectionist. It's just because I didn't notice it until like well after. And then I said, fuck it, I'm not going back. Because these socks are done and they're off the needles. And it's fine. It's fine. They're socks. They're going to go on my feet. They're beautiful. I love them. And they're done. Yeah. And I have enough left over to probably make a second pair of socks for my mom with the leftovers. The second pair of socks are my Nomadic yarns Midnight Margarita socks that I showed last time. So I finished these. Did I only have 1 sock blocker? Like, am I losing my mind? I'm probably losing my mind. It's fine. Oh, it's over there. It doesn't matter. These are my Midnight Margarita socks. So both of them are done. These are a Practical Magic colorway with a random Gobsmacked mini for the heel that I got. And I love these so much. Nomadic Yarns is one of my all-time favorites. The colors are just so rich, and it's perfect. So these socks are both done. I am going to tuck those away in my box of socks. And yeah, they've been on the needles since I think October. My last thing that I finished is my Musselburgh hat. This has been on the needles for 1 year and 11 months, and it is now done. This is Lily and Pine in the Pixie Dust colorway. So I saw the creative knitter knitting a Musselburgh hat out of this same yarn. She posted it on Instagram, and I was like, I love that. I want to do that. It's just one of those patterns where like the yarn kind of speaks for itself. So I bought it, I cast it on, and then it lingered. So it's done now. So I mean, everybody is probably familiar with the Musselburgh hat. You knit a big tube, and then, you know, you tuck the one end in the other. I'm sure you've seen a million of them by now. I like more of a beanie hat, so I will wear it probably like this. I have enough that I can roll it up a little bit. I have a little head. Like when I order scrub caps, I have to order a small, and most people would order just like a standard size, but I have to get like the small size of the person that I order from in Nova Scotia. And then our local maker that makes them, I have to order the small head size. So yeah, I have a little bit of a smaller head. So this is my Musselburgh, and it's finished, and it is, I'm so glad it's off the needles. Yeah, I want to cast on another one because I have a skein of yarn. Let's see. I don't know where it is. I don't see it off of the top of my head. No, I don't see it. It is a mustache yarn, Taylor Swift. It's all of her albums, not TTPD though, because it came out before that. But 72 stitches, she knit a hat in it, and it's a Musselburgh hat, and it's so good. I think it was her. I'm pretty sure it was. And ever since I saw that, I was like, ooh, yeah, I want to do that. But I just feel like it's probably not the right time because I've got a lot of sock knitting going on, and I just finished this, and this lingered long enough, so I don't need to do that again. This ended up getting finished by going to another movie, and then I just had the decreases to do, and I sat down and just tackled them in a morning. That was when I was off last week. One of the things I was like, today's the day, I am finishing this. Yeah, so that is all I have to show for knitting. The wool gathering that happened, excuse me, in Sussex, New Brunswick, it was, I think, a couple weekends ago. Not last weekend, but the weekend before, I believe. It was a whole weekend, and I was only able to go for the day because I had Sawyer for the weekend, and I didn't have childcare for anything longer than the day. So I went, and it was lovely. I got to see so many of my friends, hang out with knitters. I literally just sat and knit for a couple hours. I had lunch, and I purchased a couple things. So let me show you what I bought. I can't remember the name of this. And let me look here. This is a skein of Tiny Human Knits. Goldenrod. So this is Laura from Tiny Human Knits. This was muled down from Fredericton for me, where she is, and this is a 50-gram skein and a mini, and this is going to be one of my upcoming socks for the book and sock knitting, the KALS. So I love a 50-gram sock. This is gorgeous. I love her yarn so much. One of my all-time favorite self-striping sock dyers. So, and Canadian, because really at this point, sorry American friends, sorry not sorry, it's really just pointing out the need to buy Canadian more than ever with what you guys have got going on. I'm not even going to get into that, but lovely Canadian self-striping sock dyer who's local to me, so yeah. Speaking of self-striping sock dyeing, who's Canadian, Turtle Pearl. You saw last time I showed the socks that I made, the collection of column socks by Nancy Wheeler, and I knit them in Turtle Pearl yarns, close knit yarn shop, who is in Florenceville and hosts the Florenceville Fibre Festival, was at the Sussex Gathering with a little shop set up, and I picked up this skein of City Girl. So it's lovely purples, and that's what it looks like, if you can see that. So I think these are gonna be for my mom. I'm gonna do something for Mother's Day, or I don't know, something. So I picked this up with her in mind to go in my self-striping stash, because again, Canadian. And then the Atlantic Yarn and Fiber booth had a brick bubble goodies. So that is Manon, La Violette, Sophie, Cozy Meadow, Nancy, Knit Sip Happy, and Deborah Yarn Indulgences are the Atlantic Yarn and Fibres. So they had this sock ruler, which I picked up from Brick Bubble, and it has the gauge, inches hole, you know, your needle sizes, Kitchener, and then men's and women's foot sizes. So I picked that up. I have a million of those, but I thought they're so cute. I picked up a little Brick Bubble Progress Keeper, and then one of these. I have one of these, which is smaller and fit in my Notions bag, and it unfortunately, like the edge here snapped off. So I picked that up from them. And I actually have a Brick Bubble order that I placed as well a couple months ago, because anytime you go to these shows or like the PEI Fiber Festival or anything, we all have like name tags, but it's just like a sticker, which is great, but then it sticks to your knitting, and then I've got like mohair flying everywhere. So I picked up one of these from Brick Bubble. I just asked for like my name, and she went on my Instagram and like did a custom everything for me. So I grabbed one of these, which I love, and it's magnetic, and it's like it's a strong magnet, like, so yeah. I got one of these to be able to wear to the fiber festivals, because sometimes you're sitting at a table with people who you don't know. Like this time I met a new knitter who is local, who I didn't know, and I'm terrible with names, and with my brain right now, I love a name tag. Or like if you're taking a class, it's nice. I like to refer to people by their name or how they prefer to be called. So yeah, I got that. Those are all Brick Bubble, but I did place that order as a special order separately. Okay. One of the other things that I purchased at the Sussex Wool Gathering, Maple Mousse Fibers, my buddy Michelle. I saw this vintage Santa's bag and I was like, I need that. I just love it so much. Like, look how vibrant that is. And I don't know if you can see, but the the stitching is scalloped and I love it. It's so good. Here's her tag. Michelle had like taken a little bit of a sewing hiatus, and she is back. I have shown her projects before. And there's pockets inside here. I love it. I actually, on my next episode, I'm going to do a giveaway because I have some things, and I have a Michelle bag for you that I purchased a while ago before life got crazy. That it's not a Christmas bag, but I have a bag for you with the stitch markers that I showed last time and some yarn. So next episode, I'm saying it out loud so that I am accountable, because I'll forget. Okay. The other thing that I purchased is from Amanda. Lovely Amanda from Sweet Skein of Mine. Oh, I love her yarn so much. This was the Winter Gathering colorway, which she dyed exclusively for the Sussex Winter Gathering. I hope you can see it. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Look at that. And then I grabbed, oh my gosh, I can't even, that's my jam. I grabbed 2 skeins of mohair to go with it. I don't know why, I'm just realizing this is DK mohair, which I didn't look at. I assumed it was not, which it doesn't matter because this will go in stash or get used with this. It's all good. Look at this. This was my vision. This together to be something, a sweater of some kind. No idea what. Yeah, I don't know. I had visions of this together being a sweater. So I grabbed that because I couldn't resist. And then I also grabbed this from Amanda. This is Superwash Merino, Neon Donegal. Look at this. Vanilla Sprinkles. So this is a little tweedy yarn. Look at those neon neps. I can't even handle it. And honestly, when I saw this, I thought Musselburgh. So this is going to go in my stash, but this will be a Musselburgh. There's no nylon in it, but there's those lovely, lovely gold, like neon neps, and I just can't. I think it's going to be so good. So that just is going to become that. What else? That is it from the Sussex Wool Gathering. I did get 2 skeins in from another lovely Canadian self-striping sock yarn dyer. I have so many favorites. I would say I just love self-striping sock yarn. But I'm definitely shopping Canadian right now. Sorry, friends. It just, our dollar sucks and your president sucks. So yeah, Canadian is the way that it's got to be right now. These are Area 51. And I was on my Gilmore Girls kick. This is You're the Suki. You're the Suki to my Lorelei. And I picked this color to go with it. I tried to just pick something that would go with it as a contrast. So I hope you can see that and it's not getting too blown out. This was one of her 50-gram sets. It's just going to go in stash. And then this one I think is going to be another one of my socks for this sock knitting cal, because I like my books extra spicy, and I do love an extra spicy book. So Area 51 Fibres is a self-striping dyer. They also dye gnome kits from out west, and they vacuum seal for flat rate. I don't know if it's $5, $7, free shipping over a certain amount. Very, very economical. Knock on wood, I've never had a skein go missing, but this is Area 51. So that's going to be another one of my upcoming sock knitting, book, listening, reading socks. Yes. What I have visions of casting on tomorrow was this one. Another lovely Canadian dyer. Here I am just, you know, stimulating the Canadian economy. This is Cozy Posy, Taylor Swift themed friendship bracelet. I'm going to put a picture in from her Instagram because it's so good. I had to buy it immediately. She also started vacuum sealing as well. So this is all of the Taylor Swift friendship bracelets inspired this colorway. And I love the neon. I love the neon speckles. I just think it's so good. And then it came with this mini. So this is what I had visioned casting on for tomorrow. Now I'm wondering if I should cast on one of those 50-gram skeins. No, I need to cast that spicy set on when I'm listening to a spicy book, and right now I'm not listening to a spicy book. I'm listening to like I don't know. If you've read this book I'm going to talk about, please just tell me it gets better. Lie to me. Even if it doesn't get better, lie to me, because I'm 49% in and I'm too committed to not finish it, but boy, I'm not enjoying it. Okay, I think this is what I'm going to cast on tomorrow. Friendship bracelets. It's so good. And she's having a sale in her shop right now. I think it might still be ongoing because she is moving. And there's also a new Provence collection coming out from Cozy Posy as well that I need to check out. So yeah, I think I'm just going to leave this out and cast it on. And then I'm going to cast on the Laura skein, and then I'm going to cast on the Spicy Book skein, and then I'm going to get overwhelmed with the amount of whips that I have. Panic. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I also grabbed this bag from Studio Britta, who is one of my favorites. I love yarn. Oh, I just noticed this has like a little, I never noticed that before. It is a zip bag. And I do not think I have a zip bag from her. Love the inside fabric, the stripes. It is so good. pinks and greens. This reminded me a little bit of Wicked. I love it. I love Wicked. I love musicals. I love this bag. I had a hard day. This came home with me, and I purchased it in the middle of the night when I couldn't sleep at like 3 a.m. The last thing I purchased wasn't even for me. Sawyer and I went for a concert. We went to see Mini Pop Kids or Kids Pop or something like that at our local theater over March break, and we parked close to Cricket Cove, and Sawyer and Cindy from Cricket Cove have the sweetest little friendship. She's so good to him. They're so cute together. So when he went in, he was over talking to Cindy while I was looking at Opal, because I was looking to see if I was looking for a ball to cast on, but then I couldn't remember if I already purchased it or I didn't. So I was like, I'll check my stash and then I'll just come back. And now that I'm looking at my stash, I didn't purchase it, but I don't need it. Anyway, Sawyer came back and he was like, Mom, can you make me a scarf? And I was like, yeah, buddy, but like winter's almost over. Like, you know, what are you thinking? And then he immediately came back with this, and it is that bright. It's that bright. It is blowing out a little bit, but it's really bright. It's Malabrigo, it's Rios, and it's in Matisse blue. Yeah. And you know what? He does not ask for a lot. He asked for a scarf. He picked out this color. Like I was in the other room where the Opal was, and I was like, oh, did you have a color in mind? And he was like, yeah, this one. I was like, all right, go get another skein. So we have 2 skeins. I will never lose him. So this is going to be a scarf next year. I told him I was not going to knit it until next year. We'll pick out a pattern together. But yeah, this one was not my fault. I'm not taking responsibility for this purchase. But yeah, it's all good. He never asks for anything, and he's so sweet and lovely. So this will be a scarf for Sawyer next year, and I'll probably have enough for a hat too. And, ooh, yeah. Yeah, I have one more thing. It's spicy. I don't even know if I should show it. I think I'll show you the tin, and then I will link the listing down below, because I showed something spicy last time, but this is spicier. I can't even remember where I bought this from. This was from the States, and it came a while ago. It is a Knitting Notions tin, and I'll just give you, if it's gonna focus. I don't know if it will focus. Do you see the number on there? That's a hint into what's in here. There's another disclaimer. Avert your eyes. This one's a keychain with needle sizes in the bottom. And then this is what I will link. I will see if I can link it. This is a whole bag of really explicit stitch markers. Like, really explicit. I mean, like, they're not. It's adult content stitch markers. Like, a lot worse than I showed before. They're more realistic. Anyways, and like, the progress keepers are killing me. Yeah. Well, this one's this one's not bad, but the other one is probably a little bit too much. I don't know if you can see that. They're like clear. I'm not sure if it's gonna focus. That's like a torso, and then the other one's a butt. Someone grabbing a butt. And then all of these are various toys and objects. So yeah. Anyways, I thought it was hilarious. And then when I added it to my Etsy cart, it came to $69. So I was like, well, that's hilarious, and feels like I have to buy it because that's the same number here. So I bought it. Again, middle of the night delirious purchase. I really need to stay away from my phone. So that's all of the things I have purchased. Again, that was really just because there was a Fibre show. I do not suspect that there will be many more purchases in my future because I'm well stocked and I want to use the things that I have just purchased immediately. Probably until the next Fabre festival that I go to, which will be the Florenceville Fabre Festival in April. I feel like it's the second weekend in April, like the 11th and 12th, I think. Pretty sure it's the 11th and 12th. I'll put it down below. But yeah, so I'm gonna be good until then. Okay, I've read 3 books. No, I've read more than that. No, I've read 3 books and I have the one I'm in the middle of right now and one upcoming. So, the first book that I read is All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. This is not one of the books that I read for when this KAL started. This was the one that I read before it. And I will say, if you watch my Instagram stories, you saw me be like, come on. This book is heavy into character development. And it has just like breadcrumbs of true crime sprinkled in. And at first I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. This is a little bit slower. Like I need a little bit more action. And then I got to the last quarter of the book and I was like, and then all of the pieces clicked together and I loved it. I gave this book 5 stars, which I very, very rarely do. If you follow me on Goodreads, which I will link down below, I am like a solid, like if it was just like an book, like I'm a 3-star girl. Like if I really, really liked it, 4 stars. If I loved it, 5 stars. Like I used to just like liberally give out 5 stars and I don't really anymore. Like most of the books I read would probably be 3-star books. Like they're enjoyable, they're fine. They didn't like knock my socks off. I enjoyed them. But this was a 5-star book for me. And all of the little pieces that were slowly building up totally clicked together at the end. It is a story about love and friendship with true crime sprinkled in, which I love true crime. And it was so good. Like at the end, I was like almost crying. Like I had tears in my eyes because I was like, this is such a beautiful book. So it is a little bit slower, but it builds and it clicks. So give it a chance. I really, really liked it. It's a longer book. I finished Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I think I mentioned that last time. And then the first book that I read for the I Love Books and Sock Knitting KAL is The Crash by Frida McFadden. It was okay. 3-star book again. Much like all of her books. It's her newest one. It was fine. It was like a little bit different. But yeah, I liked it. So I finished that. It's a quick one. I finished that in like under 24 hours. And then the next one that I read was When We Flew Away, a novel of Anne Frank before the diary. I didn't write down who wrote this. I think it's Alice Hoffman. I'm pretty sure it is. So Anne Frank, you know who that is. I read her diary. I know quite a bit about World War I, World War II. I have read extensively. I have studied it in university. Yeah, I didn't like this book. So for me, it missed the mark. I thought I would like it because I quite enjoy reading about World War II and learning and, like, we don't want yesterday's mistakes to be repeating themselves today, and with everything that's going on in the world right now, it's a scary place. And yeah, I did not like this book. And I think why I did not like this book is because, and I can't even believe I'm saying that, because I like the author and I thoroughly enjoy reading about fiction, non-fiction about World War II. This book was fiction based on a real person's life. And I think that's where it lost me. It was based in research. However, you're writing and presuming that you know a real, very, very historic person's thoughts and feelings. And I just didn't like that. I thought her diary was enough, and this should just not have been written. I didn't appreciate it. And that's totally just my opinion. If you liked this book, you know, that's okay too. For me, I think that it could very easily be mistaken for her work, and it's not her work. And I just don't want people to get confused. Anyways, the book I'm reading right now that I don't really like is, so far, I could be wrong, is Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. And my next upcoming book is Dinner for Vampires by Bethany Joy Lenz, who is in One Tree Hill. She played Haley. And she was like in a cult or something. Sorry, my battery died. Anyways, Dinner for Vampires. That is the next book that is available on my library list. It's by Bethany Joy Lenz. She played Haley in One Tree Hill. And I think she was in a cult, apparently, when she was younger. I'm not really sure. Oh, the sun is back. It's leaving weird shadows on my face. Anyways, whatever. We're gonna go with it because I'm almost done. So that's my next library book that's available. I'm curious to read that book because it's a biography, and I am interested in the fact that she was self-admittedly in a cult. And like, I always find I enjoy reading about people's firsthand experiences about how they got to that place. And I really loved One Tree Hill growing up. Like, I would, as a Canadian, we did not get that channel. I definitely remember streaming it online. And then when I worked at Blockbuster growing up, in high school and university, when the whole season would come out, I would like rent the entire season before it was available to the public, because we always got it a week in advance, and I would binge watch the entire season in the week that I had it. And my other coworker started watching it as well, and basically I would watch one disc, give it to her, watch the other disc, give it to her, and I got them first because I started watching it and I got her into it, and I worked at Blockbuster longer, so we had a good system. It worked for everybody. But it was like a mad race to get through One Tree Hill before we had to let it go to the public for rental. So I have fond memories of that from high school and university. So I'm interested in reading this book. And that's it so far. I have a couple other ones. I just bought a Canadian author, which I'll show next time. And I think that's the one I'm going to read when I knit the Sandy and the Cozy knitter sock set. It's more of like it's about the Halifax explosion. So I think I'm gonna pair those together and read them. So I've got a lot of upcoming reading and knitting, and I'm excited. I'm motivated, but I really want to finish my sweater. I also really want to cast on a summer sweater. Maybe. Don't know. I want to knit the book club cardigan, and I have yarn for it, which I showed last time. However, it is mid-March. It is a worsted weight sweater. I feel like I'm going to do a spring or summer knit first, and then maybe cast that on, and then I will cast that on, and it'll be ready to wear next year, because I will not get it done in order to wear this year, so I might as well knit a spring or summer knit and then start it and have it for next year, next fall, because I suspect it's a heavily patterned sweater. It will take me that long to work through all the knitting problems I'm bound to have with it and all of the questions I'm going to need answered, and yeah, so anyways, that is it for today. I will put all of the information down below about everything I showed, and all of the hashtags for the KALS I'm participating in, so that you can participate too. And I'm gonna write myself a note about the giveaway for next time, because you guys have stuck with me. It's like my last episode was 4 months. It was a long time. So I have a couple things and I want to share them with you. So next time, and it won't be another 4 months. So that is it for today. Thank you for bearing with me while I looked up the name of that cow and with the sun and with the general concussion. So I hope you have a great day, and I am going to go, I don't know, maybe try on my sweater, maybe work on my sock, see what Sawyer's up to upstairs. He never materialized, so he's having quiet time. He knew I was downstairs, so he must have, what I suspect happened is he started yelling for me, and then he was like, oh, Mom's downstairs recording her podcast. I'm supposed to be being quiet right now, and just stopped yelling. So I'm gonna go see what he is up to, and I think we're gonna get outside and go for a walk in the sunshine, because it's cold. Like, it's like -15 out with the wind chill, but it's sunny. So, you know, that's all that really matters. So anyways, I hope you have a great day. Thanks for catching up, and I will see you next time. Bye.